So when you think of this scenario, when you imagine that someone is like a sports person's entering a dressing room, or someone enters the room, or you're in a business environment, or you're in a work environment, or even you're in a bar or a club or any sort of situation where someone comes in and they just hold the room. There's something about them. They just exude confidence. What is it that we can pick up and recognize? What's this thing that they seem to have in spades? How is it that we, at a subconscious level, are picking this up? And what is it? So let's dive into, first of all, what confidence is. So the technical definition I'll read for you here is: confidence is a belief in your abilities, your worth, and your capacity to handle challenges. It is both a mindset and a behaviour. So mindset being self-efficacy and behaviour meaning how you act. So that's an interesting sort of spin on confidence, because how you think about yourself will directly dictate how you behave. And if you think of all the situations where, if you think of any situation that you would want more confidence, so in negotiations, when you're, talking to people, when you're out there and just engaging with people in daily life, when you're setting yourself a new target or a new task or a new challenge, confidence can be a big part of your results. So if you think of an environment that you would like more confidence in, if you could get those skills and start to apply it, what would that do for you? What would that do for your results? What would it do for your finances? What would it even do for your relationships? Say you're out there and you're young and single and you want to go out there and speak with people, and you're having a chat and a conversation. If you come across confidently, that's why universally when people hold the room, it's a very, very attractive quality. Probably one of the most attractive qualities. So if you imagine being out there and exuding that, especially when you're out there looking for, a romantic partner, that might be a great skill to have. Or even more so, say that you're in a work environment and you're looking to get a promotion. Maybe there's a few people that are in line for the same position, and you want to make sure that you get the promotion. No better way to do it than to be confident. Or if you're going for a job interview, same thing applies. You want to be the number one candidate, the one that leaves a mark. And then you get other instances when you're in business. So one of the things that I do a lot is a lot of business mentoring. I help businesses, and specifically people. It's, the business part is my expertise, but the people is really where the skill set lies, where a lot of people just want more confidence. They want to be more confident in what they're doing, which is really a belief that they can get where they want to go, and that they can get the results that they seek out. And how do you develop that confidence within them? So confidence is something that has particular traits, and those traits are the things that we identify, because we can recognize the traits, which give us signs that whoever the person that we're looking at has a lot of confidence. So if you want to be seen as someone who has a lot of confidence and who can develop these traits, we're going to dig into how to actually do that, how to practically apply these lessons and these principles so you can become more confident in what you're doing. And that's going to show up in your results in all areas of your life. And even if you're a parent, like, one of the great things that you can do as a parent is teach your kids confidence. I certainly know as a dad, when I teach my boys how to be confident and be strong and be sure of themselves, it's a phenomenal thing to do, because it instills in them the self-belief that they have high self-worth, that they are enough, that they can definitely do it, and they should reach for the stars. And one of the things, just like when you're a kid growing up, when you're a child growing up, you want to have your situation, your life evolves and changes rapidly, and it seems to be a sequence of ever-changing circumstances as you grow up. But as we become adults, we maybe have not developed those skills like we did once upon a time when we were young. So we're going to address how you actually get back to knowing what to do, because there would have been a time in your life that you'd have been good at this. And even if you feel that you're the most, if you're the person that lacks the most confidence, there will be a way to make you more confident. I guarantee it. So we're going to find out what that is, because one of the things that we see with the literature is the debate is always, are you born with it? So is confidence something that you're born with, or is it something that you nurture, or is it a combination of both? So there's been lots of studies on this to actually identify, is that the case? Because some people, and usually people are looking for an escape. They're looking to cop out, as they say, I'm not a confident person because I wasn't born with it. That's what they're implying. They're implying that they weren't confident because they just weren't born that way. Ridiculous. There's only two things that you're born with. Only two traits: fear of sudden loud noises and the fear of falling. Every single thing else is learned. So you have not put yourself in a position to become more confident yet. You haven't put yourself in those situations yet. So if you're not confident yet, then you can become more confident when you start to apply these. Because confidence is a skill and it then becomes a behaviour. That skill dictates your behaviour. So it is definitely a skill that you can learn, that you can develop, that will change your mindset. It will change your perception of everything that you're doing and how well you can do it. And it will get rid of those nasty little bugging things that are in your life, like anxiety and depression and fear of doubt and, imposter syndrome. Just destroys all of them. So if you have any of these symptoms and you want to blow them apart, one of the great things that you should do without delay is start to put these skills in play in your life, and they're way easier than you think. So let's look at some of the studies. Some say confidence may be genetic. So there was twin studies at Brochard in 1990 suggested that extroverted people are linked to confidence, and that's 40 to 60% is heritable, meaning that you've inherited that behavioural predisposition that you're just more outgoing, which is perfectly fine. But does that actually mean that you can't learn these skills? I don't think it does. So the example they give is that kids that seem to have more outgoing temperaments can appear as more confident. That might be true, and they certainly may appear that way. But if you ever seen a kid that is really good at problem solving or at puzzles, or they're locked in and they're focused, or they can make a paper aeroplane or do any number of things, they are developing the skills of confidence because they are learning the pattern that they can do things and become more efficient and improve and grow. So just because you aren't extroverted doesn't mean that you lack confidence. It just means that the typical recognised way of spotting confidence is maybe not as obvious as this example or this study suggests. On the other side of it, it says that most of the studies have suggested that confidence is a learned skill. It says Bermuda's social learning theory shows that it grows through three main things. Number one is mastery experiences, which is essentially you becoming better at tasks. So you start something, you're not very good at it, you're terrible at it, you spend a lot of time figuring it out, then you redo the task again, and you do it again, and you improve, and you improve, and you improve, and you improve. And essentially, you're learning. So when you put that skill of learning into play, it then builds up your level of confidence, and your confidence starts to develop. Other things that seem to work extremely well is when you observe or are around confident people. So when you have a role model who's someone that you see with great confidence, when you start to observe them, you start to absorb their traits into you. You can start to notice the way that they do certain things, and you can take on those characteristics. When you take on those characteristics, you're getting the same results that they get because they are doing those things because for a reason, and that reason is that they develop their confidence. When you start to apply those, you start to then develop your own confidence, then you start to get better results. So it's one of these interesting and weird and wonderful wacky things about life. Just like anything that you've ever done, at some point in time you weren't very good at it, and as you developed the skills, you became really good at it. So just think of those skills that you've got. You think of an example now, there might be something you were terrible at. I mean, I'm trying to think. Well, I think of cycling. I mean, I'm reasonably good at cycling. I'm fairly good at it now. But when I started, I could not get round the 4 mile loop. I was terrible. I mean, I didn't go and throw the bike away and think, "Hey, that's me done." I shouldn't ever do this again.